to Onesies, a podcast of one season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew,
My name's Emily.
and we are back talking about Miss Marvel, the 2022 Disney Plus streaming show. We are on episode 6, entitled No Normal, I believe.
I believe, yeah.
Yes. And so this is our giant size conclusion. When we last left, everyone, Bruno and Cameron were in trouble, and Kamala and her mom were presumably on their way back from
Karachi.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we talked about this earlier. I don't know if I've talked about it on another show, but since Emily did not watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier streaming series, which preceded this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was about two men in their 40s who really like comic books, so they start dressing up like superheroes, which aren't real. Oh, wait, hold on. It's still funny. I had to bring it back for the last time. But they spend that entire show flying around the globe. Like one episode will be in Louisiana, the next episode's in Siberia. And you
Okay.
realize that the majority of this television program is actually people on planes. You just never see it.
Oh,
Um, it's very strange when they go to like they crisscross the globe three times in an episode, and there are six episodes. So um, Mom and Kamala had a plane adventure, or at least on the way over, they had a cute little comedy beat on the plane. We get none of that on the way back. They just are
yeah.
back. We open with Bruno and Cameron trying to figure out where to go. We then have the damage control government people. The lady is locking down Jersey City. They're gonna hunt down Cameron.
I have a question about
Yes,
damage control, Mr.
yes,
Mr. Man.
yes.
I feel like you're a safe person to ask this because you're a white man.
Okay.
Um, is damage control a US organization or is it an international organization?
I have no idea. I would
Ah, uh, why
assume
are we doing this podcast if you don't know anything about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and I don't know anything about the Marvel
I'm
Cinematic Universe?
93% sure that they have not talked about it,
Okay.
because calling back to that Falcon and Winter Soldier show, the bad guys on that show were are the young people who grew up during the blip where half the population, the 5 years where half the
Mm,
population had disappeared. And so during that time, society got, dystopian yet more collective. And Falcon and Winter Soldier is about how now that the other half of the people are back, we're going to start fucking starving these whiny fucking pores again and killing them when they complain. And the reaction to that was somewhat negative.
mm,
And so I don't think they never were very specific about, in the original, in the beginning of the Marvel universe, there was a multinational super UN that did this. Then there was not. And so Department of Damage Control is probably US based, but it's also kind of a vibe that you go through a catastrophic the most catastrophic event of human existence, and you're still a piece of shit racist when you get done with that. Like,
okay.
you should probably, it's too bad you came back. So, but that's a long answer to I don't know, but also it opens there's an open question of how, if
Yeah.
anybody really knows how if anybody's been thoughtful about this, because they certainly never were in the comics. Um, but yeah. So,
Well, okay. Well, we can come back to that because it loops back into the spoiler, the kind of end of this episode. Uh, and that was the one thing that I was like, I don't think there is escaping. I don't know, whatever. So I watched this yesterday. Nope, Thursday. I watched it Thursday, and I don't remember like beat for beat, but I love the special effects. If we're going to do three things, I love the special effects. I love, like you had said, like I don't know anything about the past, but there's this collective thing that happens at the end, where the community rallies around the superheroes to kind of protect them, which I loved, including the cops, propaganda, whatever. Um, and I have a lot of questions about Cameron's powers, which you may or may not be able to answer just because that seems like a setup for the second series, right? Like, I don't understand where they came.
His mom sent them to him from closing the gateway.
Like, genetically?
Didn't they literally fly across the planet to him or something and zoom into him last episode? I think they did. It doesn't
But how did
matter
they find him?
because he's the only one. Because, she's a fucking wizard. She can send shit to him directly if she desires. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, they seem to be different powers than what Kamala has. And we're finding out as he and Bruno are looking for a place to go. Um, and he can't control them, just like Kamala early on, but they seem to be very powerful. And I think at some point he says he feels like he's being tore apart from the inside or something. Like it's very,
Yes.
very painful for him. And I suspect that releasing the powers makes him feel better. Like all of that energy is being dispersed, and so he feels better. But it's also leaving a trail of destruction for damage control to find them. So they end up at a mosque, at the mosque.
They end
Um
up at the
and
mosque.
and they're like, "What are you doing? You cannot come here." Including the friend whose name escapes me again.
Nakia.
Nakia, she's great. And she's like, "You can't stay here. Like, this is a mosque in 2025. You know, nothing is going to stop the cops or damage control from coming in and sweeping the place. Like, you can't stay." Bruno says that, it's a religious institution. Doesn't it offer asylum,
Sanctuary. Yeah.
sanctuary? Yeah. And they're like, not here, not here, not now. So they're asked to leave by even the sheik, and damage control jumps in and is like, if you're harboring fugitives, blah blah blah, and threaten to tear the place apart. And they search everywhere, and everybody's completely fine with it. So we are under the assumption that they have left, right? And I think simultaneously, while this is happening, um, Kamala is at home.
Yes.
Her entire family is sitting down in the living room, and she is about to make an announcement to them, tell them that she is Nightlight or whatever. And great comedy moment where dad and brother are uh trying to no sell the fact that they already know, but it tips Kamala off that mom can't keep her mouth shut, and dad only uses speakerphone, so that's how the brother found out, right? Very funny, very cute. um and like nobody seems surprised about it, nobody seems whatever, like it seems like big news. Like if I were like, Andrew, I'm pregnant, you wouldn't be like, oh my God. You'd be like, what the fuck? Because just the circumstances of it are pretty wild. But they don't like it. Again, I understand that this is not the real world and that superheroes do live among us in this world. But it just still seems like they're not surprised by it.
They're fairly unfazed, but we
Yeah.
also don't know what happened in between mom telling dad. Presumably, they could have sat and watched 40 hours of Nightlight on TikTok and been like, it is Kamala,
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
we don't know the thing. But yes, it is just a sort of sweet comedy beat. It is not a we're gonna freak out about this type
Right.
thing anymore. And
And then she goes up to her bedroom and she's doing something, and she gets a text or a phone call from Nakia. Like, you
Nikia
have to come.
FaceTimes. Yeah.
Oh, yes. You have to come. Uh, Cameron is got magical powers. Bruno's in trouble. They're in trouble. We need your help. She's about to leave, and mom comes in. Another super sweet family moment where mom's like, "You're not going out dressed like that." And Kamala's just wearing normal clothes that we have seen her in before, and brings her a handmade costume, but like well handmade, not like homemade Halloween costume,
Mm,
like a beautiful costume that she puts on, and she goes and runs through town. There's a scene of her like running over traffic using the little circles that she makes with her
mhm.
powers. She stops at a red light at one point, which
Unrealistic. Yeah.
like it's uh, maybe
It was
it's
a
hard.
trailer moment. It was
Yeah,
a
maybe
trailer
it's one of
moment.
those like she's learning how to drive, and so it's like instinctually she stops at a red light. I don't know.
It was a
It's a
trailer
little,
moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was silly. But she doesn't even get to the, oh no, she does get to the mosque, and she runs into Bruno and um Cameron coming out the back door.
Yep.
And Cameron is in pain. Bruno has to, tell them, our house is blowed up. And Nikia's there too, right? Doesn't she pop out the back too?
Yes.
And they
So
have a
she
little conversation like, "Are you mad at me? I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah." And it's like, "We've been best friends forever. I tell you everything, and you didn't tell me this giant thing. And that's why I'm upset." They seem to be fine, right?
yes. It gets resolved in the crisis pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And so they are headed to the high school because it is the only place there won't be anybody on Saturday.
Which, not 100% true.
In the Marvel universe, there's
Maybe.
no facilities workers on the weekend.
Well, it's
Uh,
not even that. It's football games or other sporting events, or I mean, there's people. There's people. Do they not have sports in this?
I don't,
Mm,
I don't. Okay, well, on this Saturday when there are no fucking sports at the high school, the kids are going to go there. On the way,
yes.
Kamala calls up her buddy, whose name, the Red Dagger kid,
Oh yeah.
Kareem, and is like, "Hey, can you help me out?" And he's like, "You're calling me already?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so they can get Cameron out of the country if he can get to the docks,
Yeah.
presumably the Jersey City docks.
The
I
docks
would,
by midnight. Yeah.
the docks by midnight in Jersey City are probably the size of many mid-sized cities. But it's going to be fine. Don't worry
Yeah.
about that. But so they're in the high school. They're making some plans for what they're going to do, but then damage control shows up.
Wait, the blonde girl shows up.
Yep,
She
Zoe
is
shows up.
using the stage at the theater department in the school to film her TikToks. And Big Brother shows up,
Big Brother shows up because he went to high school there. He
and
knows
he
how
knows
to
how to
get
get in.
in. And mom said to go take care of his little sister.
Yeah. Super cute.
Yeah.
Super cute.
So we now get Kamala's plan on the blackboard where we had time to do another animation sequence like we did in the
Hmm.
first episode. And so we see that they have this lengthy plan. We get bits and pieces of it. We get like there's going to be a smoke machine, there's going to be the tennis ball machine, there's going to be caps and backpacks and things like that. Fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
But basically, the plan is that they're just going to distract the damage control people long enough that Cameron can get out somehow.
And again, while this is happening, the damage control woman, the head woman that we've seen, is on the phone with her boss,
Who,
who's telling her this is bad PR. Don't do this. You're at a fucking high school. Stop it.
because Zoe has gone on TikTok and told all of her followers to come to the high school and be
Yeah.
witness to the police violence.
Yeah.
So this is why there's a big montage of all the people coming out from the community and going, and so this is where the all the folks are at the school. Yes, and so the Emily's demographic representation. My guy told her to go home. They made the white lady the villain in this one. Yes, thank you, Kevin Feige, for standing up for the white man. We don't have enough representation. She's like, hey, he gave me the go ahead. Also, bring in all the fucking troops.
Yeah, bring in backup. Yeah.
So we then get this lengthy sequence throughout the high school. We're gonna have time for Bruno and Kamala to talk about how Cameron's mom is dead.
Yeah.
And Bruno's like, he's not in a good place to hear that. Do not fucking tell him.
Yeah. Very
And
cute that since they had a resolution at the end of the last episode, that now Bruno is all in for Cameron. Like,
yeah.
very cute.
And so things go okay for some of the event. We get some fun stuff like in the science room. When they first come in, there's a music maker and a disco ball. The shock troopers come in,
Yeah.
and they are like, "Bah, bah," and then it's just this thing that sings and dances or makes music, and there's a disco ball. It's very cute. They shoot it
There's because they can, because they have
yeah,
guns. They do a bait and switch where, they identify the suspect, but everybody, like, just by what they're wearing, but all of them are wearing the same
yeah,
thing, um, which becomes apparent pretty quickly. There's so much that happens in this.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, it's a
this,
lengthy
this is
action
like
sequence.
half of the episode is them in the high school and then outside of the high school.
Yeah,
It's really long. So there's a bunch of stuff. There's like Cameron and Kamala like almost kiss,
yep. Bruno fucks that up.
and Bruno fucks that up. But then there's sort of like Kamala runs away, and then there's sort of like a nod of "it's okay, dude" between
Yeah,
Bruno and Cameron. The brother, the tennis ball machines was really fun. And the little comedy thing about the troopers then coming from behind them and they can't turn them around fast enough to shoot that way. That was kind of funny. And the brother is just like, I think this is where the brother is like, my sister is the smartest person I
yeah,
know. This is gonna work.
yeah,
And it's like, oh, family can be nice.
yeah,
Aw, I wish I had a nice family.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, but then once we're just down to Cameron and Kamala, the troopers
Because
are catching
the
up.
other ones have already been captured.
They've all been captured.
Right.
The troopers start catching up. This is after they almost make out. And Cameron is not holding back against the troopers. And so Kamala is having to save the ice agents, basically, from Cameron. And so that leads to him going outside and getting ready to have a big showdown with the assembled shock troopers. The lady Agent Karen wants to shoot her himself. Like they bring out a big gun eventually, but then we get Kamala coming out and sort of powering up. She,
She creates like a force field dome over her and Cameron. So he can't hurt them and they can't hurt
yep,
him. So and in under the cover of this is where they kind of face off about his mom. And
yes,
she is forced to come clean that yes, your mom died. She tried to open the rift, blah 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 blah. She was going to destroy everybody, and while Cameron had been like on Kamala's side in the third episode or whenever we figured out what was happening, um now he's obviously upset because his mother is no longer with him. um so they kind of start facing off. Then it turns into superhero supervillain sort of energy, and special effects were great in this. The chemistry between the actors was great. I'm still just confused about Cameron and his powers. Even though you explained it to me, it just doesn't like again, a second season might resolve some of this. Um, I forget what happens after that.
So
Oh, the
he,
dome comes down.
because she's
And
helping him get away. She helps him get
yeah.
away. He's like, nobody's gonna forgive me for any of this, and she's just like, you know what? It's never too late to start doing the right thing. And
And
he's like, your
isn't
mom
this
died to give you a chance.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is the point where she also reveals that, these were your mom's last words and whatever her
Yeah.
last words were about I'm doing this for Cameron. And yeah, so she makes the dome disappear and somehow Cameron slips out
She punches
unseen.
down to this.
Ah,
Yeah. And so he presumably runs through shit to the docks by
and
himself.
while the dome comes down, the ICE agents get their guns going, but the community who has been gathered by Zoe, um, and who we've seen crowd reactions from this whole time, they cross over the barrier, like the little gates, and they come and they surround Kamala, including the local police
Yeah.
who had been helping ICE to stop them from shooting. Um, and I don't know what happens after that. More
We
TikToks?
we eventually get some more TikToks, but first we have Kamala gets away. She like basically just needs to recuperate, and then she runs
Mm,
off while her parents get to her and are like, "Are you okay?" And so that's very non-traditional, sort of, even for teen superheroes. You don't get a lot of story out of your family knowing you're a superhero, so
yeah,
most times they don't know, but here they're being supportive of her. She gets away. The agent Karen gets a phone call that is like, you're fucking obviously fired right now, like get the fuck out of there.
yeah,
um which is, so now this series doesn't have any cameos. Reading about how they got hit by some Rona shooting things, this would have been a great time for, I don't even know who in the Marvel universe is a cop at this point, but it would have been a great time for a cop superhero to show up and arrest Agent Karen. That would have been a lot better.
mm,
But they did not set that up. Instead, we get, it's very, local. So we get all the TikToks of everybody reacting, how cool it was, how great it was that they have their own hero and how they feel connected by this. And we get, I think the last one is the little boy who's like, she's Nightlight's so cool. I guess when she dropped me, that was just a beta test, huh? Just
yeah.
kidding.
It
Yeah.
was so funny. It was cute.
So we then get, let's see.
Is it
So
Kamala on the roof?
Kamala goes out on the
Oh, wait,
roof.
no. Do we see Cameron and the Red Dagger guy
Yeah,
meet up? Yes, in the restaurant. That's the
they go
face
to the
for the,
restaurant. Yeah.
yeah,
And there had been some complication with that where Cameron was like, they're our sworn enemies. And she's just like, shut the fuck up, dude. They're going to help you. They're
yeah.
clearly not. But yes, then we get the um, dad talking to come. We get the father daughter talk, but it's not about a boy. It's about her being a superhero and what that means for everything. And then he's like, well, you know, you've always been our superhero. That's why we named you Kamala. And she's just like, oh, what is that? And we get to the meaning of the word, and it's
In
Miss
Arabic.
Marvel. In Arabic, it means marvel.
Yeah.
I wonder how close that is to what it actually means. It might be. They might have been that thoughtful when creating it. But she's then like, wait, it's just Marvel? So like I can just be Miss Marvel, like Carol Danvers, and Dad's like, I don't know. What the fuck
I
are
don't
you
know
talking
who that is.
about?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. And so then we then cut a week into the future. Unclear why we cut a week into the future. This is like a week. I imagine. So I when I watched this, I didn't watch it with enough volume to hear the music, but we cut a week into the future. Bruno's about to leave for Caltech. He's going to take Cameron's car. Nakia
Yes.
and Kamala are like, you should leave the car here and we'll take care of it. He seems to lose that argument, but then he's like, hey, let me talk to you for a second, real quick. I reran your DNA. And she's just like, you need to call me when you're bored. And he's like, I was doing it for your brother because he wants to know where the fuck his superpowers are. And
Yeah.
the reason he doesn't have superpowers and the reason your mom doesn't have superpowers is because you had a mutation in your genes that led you to being able to access the newer energy. Which might explain why Cameron didn't have any superpowers before mom sent them. Though it's
Yeah.
unclear how much superpowers mom actually had. They were just like superhuman, but not like they didn't have a power set. But then, as he's telling her this, the X-Men cartoon music from the 90s plays because during one of the retcons of the Marvel universe, they made Kamala a mutant,
Hmm.
which allows the actress, the female actor who plays Kamala, to write X-Men comics occasionally, but also hopefully will involve her being in the X-Men movie instead of disappearing because we live in a racist shithole country, which seems what is most likely to happen now. Is that they're
Well,
firing all the ladies because
because they don't have to have them on board anymore.
that's right.
Well, there's still hope. It has not officially been canceled. I know it's been a number of years.
Oh
And
yes, that is adorable that you think that we're going to get the further
shut up.
adventures of Cameron.
Shut up. I'm just making conversation. This is the last episode of season 20? 19?
19. Season
19.
20 is coming up.
Season 20 is coming up. So, a couple of big announcements. One, it's my turn to make the announcement. Um, Two, we will not be having a recording next week. We'll take a little bit of a break before we come back with season 20, where we watch, I should have had it pulled up, 1995 High Society, starring Gene Smart and Mary McDonnell. I'm very excited. This is something we've talked about, I mean, since very early on
Yep.
doing. It is as close to a remake of Ab Fab as ever made a full series that's not Sybil. Sybil is obviously the closest Ab Fab remake that got a long run. I love Sybil. Anyway, so we're going to watch High Society. Jean Smart's in it. She's fucking amazing and everything. And we love her. I can't wait to watch her be Patsy Stone. It'll be ridiculous. So, Andrew, oh, I cannot wait to watch this terrible sitcom with you where we will have more wonderful, terrible things to talk about.
Oh, I'm sure
Um,
in 1995 we're not going to get anything that stands out
I
in
will
2025.
use my encyclopedic knowledge of AbFab to compare the two unfavorably, I'm sure. Um, until then, Andrew, I will see you in television land.
See you in television land, Emily.